Hey, fellow babies, and welcome to the show that won the Buckeye News Hawk Award for our coverage of Elon Musk's throated endorsement of Ronald Gump. It's PubChat. Oh, God.
Hang on a minute. I don't get it. Well, have I missed something? Have I missed something in this story?
Let me play it for you, and you'll be right up to speed, all right? Here we go.
Yeah, the Elon Musk. So, yeah, sure. So Elon called me. As you know, he endorsed me full-throated. He endorsed me full-throated. Full-throated.
No way.
That will never stop being funny. Ever. Ever.
That is... Why do I start to feel sorry for Elon again?
Oh, man.
Fully throated.
And for poor Elon, it was like being at a broken Dairy Queen waiting for soft serve, and all he got was a drop.
Ooh, a little bit drizzle.
Oh, so how's everybody doing? What's happening?
Hey, yeah. Started any fires recently?
Yeah, well, there's enough of them around me. Oh, yeah.
There's the channel that shall not be named. Went live a little while ago, talking about this fire at the Zaporizhzhia power station.
Yeah,
and all the chat were going, all the channel that shall not be named. Oh, they always get to the news first. And I'm thinking, no. Did they watch the Ukraine update this a few hours ago? Where Starsky brought it up.
Yeah, we reported on it, and Starsky has knowledge of the situation, and the idiots just stacked a bunch of tires in the big cooling tower and lit them on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what the hell? It's just toxic crap going through the air. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are supposedly intentionally just trying to burn that tower down. So the power stations are going to be, going to be a bit critical because it's. I don't think it's active at the minute, but they still need to keep water pumping through the power station because it's still got the nuclear rods in there. So they still need to keep it cool.
Yeah, and those are the cooling towers, if you don't know how they work, right? As the hot air, the steam rises, it starts to condense as water, and, so an important piece of the puzzle, but it's not supposed to spew black smoke.
It would be a shame if the power station in the Kursk region also seems to suffer from a tire induced fire.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't that be a coincidence, right?
Yeah. Oh, these Russian built nuclear power stations, they all seem to suffer from tire fire hazard.
Now, I'm not a nuclear engineer or technician of any sort, but I don't think burning old rubber has anything to do with the process.
That's, of course, the 3 Mile Island incident, isn't it?
Yeah. Teenagers out front spinning their tires, one caught on fire. The next thing you know, it's terrible.
Right? Just chuck them all on, yeah. They probably just got bored seeing Britain burning to the ground with all the riots, so they thought, let's have one of our own.
Yeah, or British Columbia. I mean, we got fires all around us right now. I had my windows open last night because it was cool enough. I didn't need the AC running. And I wake up this morning and the whole place just smells like a smoldering ashtray. It was awful.
The thing is, you had the same problem last year. I mean, I'm surprised.
The year before. That's how it works here.
Yeah, I don't understand. I can't understand how anything has enough time to grow new trees in a year.
I'm partial way up the Rocky Mountains. So you have forest area, a town. Forest area, a town. So, I mean, as many forest fires as we've had in my area, there's a lot left to burn.
Right. Oh, okay. So it's not the same fire in the same place each time.
No. Yeah, because there's no fuel there. And that's the whole thing. A lot of people around my area are starting to say, not in a joking way, but instead of having all these people locked up that do nothing for us because they're, criminally minded and got themselves busted, why don't we put them up as workforce into the bush and start clearing all the old dead timber out, which is the fuel for all these fires to get so brutally out of hand all the time?
Oh, I thought you were going to say use them as like fire blankets or something. Don't think that will work.
Yeah. Drink a lot of water and then go lay there. Yeah, they got to sweat as they get hot because then it works for a while, right? But more and more people are talking about things like that because it's not a job that anybody wants to do for low pay, and yet who's going to pay you $40 an hour or whatever to go and do that? So, why don't we get some, work yourself out of jail? Actually do something. Get used to working instead of just sitting around watching a television with 15 other guys that tell you how to break into places.
Now, I've seen a few movies. Now, I think, logistically speaking, it's probably not a good idea to take a bunch of criminals from a prison and let them loose into a forest because they seem to run away.
But this isn't the 60s and 70s. We have tech and stuff. You don't just have to have like 35 people with guns anymore, right?
You shove an Apple tag up their arsehole.
Yeah, everybody gets an enema to make sure they're healthy and stuff. And you just, No, but I mean, you could do it, right?
You build one into like a thing that goes around their neck. So if they get out of range, that just blows up. or is that going too far, science fiction movie style?
Yeah, was that a Schwarzenegger movie or what was that one?
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, no, it's lost on me which one that was. We have Stephen Walsh in the room tonight.
We do indeed, with nothing less than a $100 super chat. Sawyers, it might be that big around. Hopefully no bigger though. I mean, at that point, does things have their own gravity? But thanks, Steven. Big thanks. That's huge, man. Whoa, yeah. Right?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Dick would buy me a drink tonight.
We'll have to get somebody one. This is just ginger ale. I still got antibiotics. I can't be having alcohol.
Oh, no. Doesn't that help? Doesn't having alcohol with antibiotics doesn't help?
No, that's not how it works.
Well, that's what the doctors tell you.
Yeah.
Why listen to them?
No,
what do they know?
I wish. But what are you going to do? I'd rather be, healed properly and healthy and get this done. So
now I've got to ask you, is that proper Canadian ginger ale?
Yes, it is. Canada Dry, nonetheless.
A bit like your forests.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's...
Why don't they pump Canada Dry onto the forest to keep them put them out?
No, rum, whiskey, gin drinkers would be just furious. Yeah.
Oh, because you don't want to throw rum or vodka or whiskey onto the fire. That's not going to help.
No, not at all. Unless you're trying to get it going. Right. But then again, if you're camping out somewhere and you're using like alcohol to get your fire going, you should have brought, something better.
Yes.
Imagine use half a bottle of whiskey to get your fire going. Oh, I finally found the gasoline. Well, we can top up on that.
Did you bring any ice?
One of the worst tastes I've ever had in my life was the first time I siphoned gasoline.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the next day I can still taste it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of like strange.
Oh yeah.
I remember doing that as well back in back in the day when we used to do things like that. I don't seem to have to siphon gasoline anymore. I don't know how the world has changed. it's not because I've gone all electric or anything, because siphoning that is not a good idea. I've tried that. You end up across the side of the room, shaking.
Every time I put my mouth to the leads, I get a fucking singe.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, why did the world change? This is a bit like the white dog poo. Why don't we siphon petrol as much as we used to in the olden days?
Because they made they changed the filler in the car, so it's not a big gaping hole. It's that little thing now that the thing goes into, right? And then they usually have more of a bend to the tube now, so it makes it harder. But I think also that, back in the day when you had like more rural things going on and you could like run away and hide at night from siphoning or whatever. In this day and age, there's cameras everywhere and blah, blah. I don't think young people could be bothered. They would go out and do something honest, like sell cocaine for the money instead, right?
Wait a minute. When I was talking about my stories of siphoning petrol, I was doing it honestly. I wasn't like you'd say siphoning out trucks of other people's cars.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah. No, I don't know what I was doing with it.
Yeah, the first time I siphoned gas was actually from my van that I had just parked to the car that I had just put plates on and everything. So I was getting the gas from one to the other, and oh man, that was bad. But anyway, we also got a Stephen Walsh shout out again here in the chat. Guffey at the Bulge, the Battle of the Bulge, or just the bulge that I've been growing from too much drink.
Yeah, you are definitely showing signs of being a bit guffy at the bulge. I've seen that.
Oh man, I'm properly getting
you need some cream to put on that guff.
Yeah,
I wouldn't know what I haven't had a bulge in years. Even dirty pictures don't help.
Yeah. No matter who he is.
Yeah, I get out my playing cards with Victorian ladies showing their ankles. It just doesn't do it for me anymore.
Yeah, he's got a limited edition deck as well, the varicose vein edition.
Yeah, I've got all my National Geographics. So you can siphon through. You can go through and find the pictures of all the African ladies with their tits hanging out.
All right, my dad had an amazing collection of National Geographics when I was young, and I remember Greg when he came over, and I was like, I don't know, 9 years old or something. He goes, "Oh yeah, these are great. Look," and he starts flipping through, finding those pictures, and I'm like, dude. Seriously? Go on. You got to have Playboys or somewhere in the house. Go find them.
It's actually funny because there was a thing came up on YouTube Shorts. You know how it is with Shorts. You just like start and then you just keep scrolling.
I don't actually, but yeah.
I kind of like it, every now and then just go through them. But there was one with like Zulu women in Africa, and I wonder what it's like, because obviously there was like one Zulu girl there. She had very pert breasts, but her friends behind her, they were like down to her knees. I mean, I wonder what it's like for Zulu men. Do they go, "Oh, she's got most beautiful breasts. Yeah, look at them. They're almost hitting her ankles."
I wonder what they prefer, right?
Yeah. It's funny. A bra.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wear that constrictive thing whilst having all those hoops around your neck.
I often, speaking of National Geographic, I always thought it was a strange name. National Geographic.
It should be international.
Yeah. What the hell? Who's national?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, growing up, I thought they were Canadian books. I didn't know it says national, right?
I don't even know where it comes from. Is it a US publication? Does it stem from the US or what? We don't know. It's just somebody's national.
Yeah. Like when I was a kid, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. For the longest time, I thought Mutual of Omaha was like some wildlife company. It turns out they sell insurance. It was just a sponsorship. I didn't know.
It's like the Michelin Guide of fine dining and restaurants. They sell fucking tires.
Yeah, I've had that thought.
What do they know about fine dining?
Yeah.
It was just their way to get people out onto the roads to burn up their rubber.
Yeah, no, what it was the easiest place is to dine and dash without having to spin your tires on the way out. That's what it was. Yeah. See, Stephen Walsh, every super chat he's sent tonight, YouTube says, hey, let's celebrate their 10th super chat on the stream. Let's celebrate their 10th. YouTube, how many times can the guy have his 10th super chat? Seriously, YouTube's having like a fucking aneurysm or something.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Steve, for your 10th. Maybe see many more 10th super chats.
Stephen Walsh's 10th super chat, verse 17.
Maybe it's just waiting for it's going to tick over to the 100th super chat at some point. It just sticks on 10 until it gets to like a.
Oh, it counts in 10 days.
But not today, Steve. Well, read it out.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Big Joe, good communication. Big Joe.
Who's Joe? Is he here?
I'm trying to think of who would be Big Joe.
Like Steve Walsh in the chat, he's actually keeping count. He says he's at 17th.
I don't think that's a high enough number, to be honest.
No, I don't think so. I think you're wrong, Steve.
Yeah, maybe more like 45 or 50.
Yeah, maybe that's just today.
Yeah. Now that's probably more accurate. Telly Savalas. Oh, Big Joe. Yes. Okay. Who loves you, baby? Telly was cool.
What's the connection with Big Joe?
Character.
Joe. Was that his character name in?
I think that's the connection I'm making. Yeah.
Joe Kojak.
I think so.
That's funny because I must admit I've never even thought about what his first name was. It was just Kojak.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it gets said much, right? Yeah, Kojak. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're just confusing the issue now.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm here for. It's my prime job, isn't it?
Yeah, well, by the looks of things, although I don't remember that being in the contract.
Andrew Nagel says Kelly's Heroes. Now, I should know that because I love Kelly's Heroes.
Oh.
It's one of my top fave war films.
Oh, yeah?
Although it's not really a war film. A bank job.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is this something like where they grabbed Hogan's Heroes, that TV show from?
Have you ever not seen Kelly's Heroes?
No, I don't think so.
Clint Eastwood, and they basically rob a bank in Germany behind the enemy lines. It's an absolutely fantastic film. Great fun. It's great fun. And Donald Sutherland plays this tank commander called Oddjob. He's stop hitting me with those negative ways, man. He's like the first hippie. And he drives a Sherman tank. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant.
Is that where they stole Stripes from?
I wouldn't be at all surprised if Stripes took a little bit of a soupçon of the Kelly's Heroes away from it.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
Okay.
But it is no. If you haven't seen it, put it on your server
I will.
and put it on one time because it is a great film.
Okay, cool.
And it's just basically got Clint Eastwood being so Clint Eastwoody. You couldn't imagine he is like top form Clint Eastwood in it.
As opposed to all the other characters he's played over the years.
Yeah, the non-Clint Eastwood ones.
Moving on.
Yeah. No, he's never really been much of a character actor, has he?
No. He's the original Nicolas Cage, man.
He is a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he's a brilliant actor. I love him to bits. But yeah, he just plays
him,
that character every single time.
Yeah.
And they're always grumpy.
Yeah. Yeah, that character worked for Westerns for a while, but then we got into cop shows, so he became Dirty Harry. Like it's just...
I was going to say, well, you've never seen him in a musical. Oh, yes, you have. Paint Your Wagon.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he's in Paint Your Wagon. He sings.
Never seen it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great movie. That's a good movie.
Is it a Western?
Yeah. But yeah, it was all about gold prospecting.
Okay. I don't watch a lot of shit like that. The only time I've ever really watched any Westerns is once I discovered that I liked Clint Eastwood, I went back and watched some of the spaghetti.
Did you know he started off his career as a singer?
Wow.
He wanted to be a pop star.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Then somehow he got into Rawhide. that all went through the roof. Yeah.
Is he on Rawhide?
Yeah. The original series, yeah.
I don't watch a lot of that stuff,
No, obviously not.
Yeah, no, that's.
I mean, neither do I, but I still know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just never been much of a Western person.
Yeah, you get a free pass.
Yeah, I know.
There's stuff. I mean, like if you want to start talking automotive stuff, then it'd be like blah 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 blah. There's noise going in one ear and out the other for me. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so you get a free pass on knowing your Clint Eastwood history and Western movies.
It's just I know Clint Eastwood from Westerns are over except for The Unforgiven. Now we're going to move forward. I know his career from there, right? I know some of the older movies. I've seen them, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and and whatnot. I've seen them. It's just that I'm not going to really rewatch them. How many times do you want to watch a guy that needs to comb the bugs out of his Mexican beard now that it's been redone and remastered in HD and we can see that crap? Like, you can almost smell them on the screen, right? It's terrible.
Yeah. It's funny though, because westerns. You used to get a lot of westerns on the TV back in the day when I was a kid, and they were just like on constantly. They still are actually. If you pick certain channels on the TV box, it's just like constant western.
Oh, we have a channel here in Canada. Many. Yeah, we have a channel here in Canada, and they play Rawhide, Bonanza, Wagon Train, and all of the old Western shows, one after the other. Oh, it's just...
Oh, yeah, okay, there's those, but I'm just talking about, just in general, the movies.
Oh.
Just thousands of them.
Yeah.
And none of them, especially when you're a kid. Yeah, I know. Well, they seem like they're all the same. Apparently there are different plots to these movies. As a kid, you're not watching for the plot, are you? It just washes over you.
Yeah, exactly.
But the funny thing is, growing up as a kid, watching westerns, I had no idea of where that was time wise in American history.
Oh.
It just meant nothing to me because it was just completely different to what people will look like or dress like in Britain or anything like that. You look at a picture of a cow, you just got no fucking idea. Oh, that's the Victorian period.
Yeah.
When people in London are walking around in huge top hats and in little carriages and talking, just made no sense whatsoever. No connection of date. It's really, really bizarre.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Even for me, I think the gold rush, because in North America you hear about that a lot, was the anchoring thing for me, right?
Mm.
Oh,
Steve Walsh comes in with that. Maggot was Lee Marvin in Dirty Dozen. Dirty Dozen. Oh, Lee Marvin.
Dirty Dozen is one I keep being told to watch.
It's all right.
What the fuck was that? Did you just open your own butt crack?
Yeah. Now, what's up, Dak? Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I wouldn't put it up at one of the top ones, but it was like a major, film back in the day when it came out, and it did like set a new standard, a new benchmark for movies that hadn't been seen like that before. It was a good idea. I wouldn't say it's a great movie, but for its time,
and what's the one that Sam from Cheers and the gang always thought was like the greatest movie ever? The Gunslinging 7 or something. What was that one?
Oh, the Magnificent 7.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it any good, or is it,
Yeah, it's of the Magnificent 7 movies, which was several of, which is kind of interesting because most of them got killed in it. No spoilers. It is actually the best one. It's got some great actors in it, some brilliant people in it.
I remember
Yul Brynner. Go on.
Well, I remember in the 80s, I guess it was, when the Young Guns movie came out, and it was Emilio Estevez and that gang. My dad was all excited to finally see a movie because it looked like it was going to be a proper Western. And he came home about an hour after the movie started, and he was like, if that's what a Western is nowadays, I'm never going to a fucking movie again.
Did you take him to go and see Wild Wild West when it came out?
Oh, I can only imagine.
He would have had a fit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he would have shat himself, man.
Yeah, now that is a bad movie.
Yeah.
Gary, it's funny though. I can talk to you. You'd say, I don't know anything about westerns. We can talk about Wild Wild West because you know that one.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with westerns, so it's a great fit.
You don't know anything about any of the good movies. Not seen them, but Wild Wild West. We can talk about that for hours because Dave knows that one.
That fucking stupid mechanical spider thing. The idiot director of that movie wanted to do the mechanical spider for like 3 movies in a row until somebody finally let him too.
Yeah. And even then they shouldn't have let him.
No, that was the dumbest thing. I'm surprised the Ancient Alien guys don't use that as proof for their argument, right?
It's funny though, because when the guys were making Star Wars, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford. I need to say Larry Ford. Harrison Ford. They none of them knew. Yeah, even the people working on the film, they said, "We don't know. This probably just could be like some crappy old B movie." Out comes one of the biggest smash hit films of years. They have no idea, but there must be the similar sort of thing when you're working on something like the Wild Wild West, and they're going, "Oh, yeah, it all seems a bit weird and hokey." But you never know. It might be the next big thing. And it turns out, it wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, but it could come together in the edit.
It doesn't got enough room on the floor for all that the camera got to do.
Especially when you read the stories, like, the cast complaining about shit dialogue in Star Wars and whatnot,
Yeah. Hey, Steve Walsh comes in with a 10th super chat. He says Westworld. Yeah. Yeah.
Old or new though? Old or new?
Old. Definitely old.
I started watching the new one. I think it was by the start of the 3rd season. I was just like, I don't know anymore. But I remember watching Westworld, the old version, when I was younger, and I thought it was just unbelievable.
It's so cheesy. So cheesy. It's really bad in so many ways.
Yeah, like Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park bad.
But I like it. It's good. It's the original Terminator sort of movie. He won't stop. We'll just keep going for you no matter what. It's the original. I love it.
Yeah. I remember liking it. I remember being in the theater for the initial release, like day one of Clash of the Titans back in the early 80s. Harryhausen did all the effects.
Yeah, I remember that.
And in the opening sequence, when the bird is flying through the mountains and whatnot, everybody broke up laughing because it was obvious that it was just like a paper cut out of a bird that had been put onto the damn screen. It was hilarious, man. Nobody laughed for the rest of the movie. It was awesome. But that opening scene was like, they must have slapped that on right before release and just said, just do it up quick. It doesn't matter,
Yeah, I know some of the people that worked on that, ended up working with them at different times. But yeah, there were some cheesy moments in that.
It was awesome, though. I still watch it like once a year or so, to be honest. Oh, yeah.
Did you see the remake?
I got about a third of the way through that before I turned it off and put on wrestling. I know I didn't, but you know what I mean? It was so bad.
Yeah, it's funny how it doesn't really work.
It had that idiot guy who thinks he's cool in the lead. Oh,
God, which one's that? There's plenty of them.
He thinks he's Chris Pine.
Was it Chris Pine? Mr. Chris Pine, we have checked. You're not Chris Pine.
Yeah. What the hell was that guy's name? And he was so mad over the mechanical owl thing. He was like, "What are you gonna do and ruining my career?" I'm sorry, dude. You're doing that on your own well enough. You don't need the help.
But we can help if you want.
Yeah.
Here's the door. Get out.
Yeah, no, Duncan, it wasn't Thor, but it's a guy who wants to be one of them. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I'll leave it to someone else to look it up.
I know. It's like trying to make an action star out of Charlie Sheen. Oh, yeah. Jay Leno recently in a video was, you remember the old movie, The Wraith, where Charlie Sheen is killed and comes back as like a prototype crazy car? It's a really bad movie, right?
No, what? Say that again.
It's called The Wraith. It's from the 80s, and a guy is killed, and he comes back to life as some like prototype supercar looking thing.
And who did you say it was again?
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
He's even said he doesn't really remember making the movie. He was that wasted during the whole process.
I was going to say he probably doesn't remember much of the 90s.
Yeah.
The only way he remembers the 90s is by watching a box set of his stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Even 2.5 Men, But Jeff Dunham, I think his name is, the guy with the puppets, the ventriloquist guy. Is that his name? Jeff Dunham? Anyway, he collects strange cars, and he bought the Wraith car, and it's now actually like drivable. It's not just a shitty movie car anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So him and Jay Leno took it out, and the whole time Jay's kind of like, well, it hasn't fallen apart yet. It was, the rear end is sag. It's a piece of garbage, man.
So wait, the guy dies and they bring him back as a car.
Well, not they, something.
Yeah. So is it like RoboCop sort of thing? Where it's his conscience has been. I don't really remember. It's a terrible movie. That's why I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but I think he gets revenge by street racing the people who killed him and slowly knocks one by one off the road and deals with them. I think it's something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, Wraith, Richard. Yeah. But yeah, Jeff Dunham owns the actual car from the movie now. So,
well, he's got to do something interesting because his ventriloquism died.
Did it?
I don't know. I've not seen him in years.
He did an animated TV show, and I think they got to about episode 10 before it got pulled.
Did he?
Yeah.
What, an animated version of him doing ventriloquism?
I saw that it was a thing, and I don't understand. I think in the show they're real animated people as well, but nobody's heard of it because it just wasn't good.
No.
Yeah.
It seems like it was watched by one person who didn't leave a review, and that was you.
Yeah, no, it was this one puppet, Ahmed or whatever his name is.
I kill you.
Yeah. God, when I first found out who that Jeff Dunham was, I liked him. He's really funny, but I got to admit, I haven't watched any of his stuff in a while because, I mean, it's ventriloquism, when's enough?
Yeah. Best place for that is on the radio.
Yeah. That's like mind guys,
We did have this in the UK years and years and years ago. A famous ventriloquist. Can't remember his bloody name, but he was really, really famous in the UK, and he did ventriloquism on the radio.
That's ridiculous.
I know. I don't think he ever did it anywhere else. It was just on the radio.
Because he couldn't. It's just. Now I'm going to do a triple backflip. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I did it. That's amazing.
I am so great.
David in the chat says, Peter Bro.
I don't know. It could be right. I can't remember.
You imagine. You could be a stock car racer back in the days of radio with somebody standing behind you.
And there goes the checkered flag.
Another trophy in the bag.
Biggles has won again.
Or how to perform surgery at home.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, you see that thing there? Yeah, don't cut that. Okay, no.
And tonight on the BBC, we have a special program for night. It's past 9 o'clock. All the kiddies are in bed. So now we're going to do sex, how to do it.
Oh, man. It instantly takes me to Monty Python. Pay attention. What's his name? I'm not going to do this again for your benefit. He's boning his wife on a couch in front of the kids.
Back that day, they wouldn't say sex with you. And now tonight on the BBC, we're going to show you how to do How's Your Father? And at first, when you start doing How's Your Father, you have to thank you, lady.
Things that happen before you.
First of all, you have to take her and get married. Once you're married, now the house of your father can begin.
No touching on Fraugarten until married. A funny thing I read today, Sonos, who have screwed their customers over repeatedly, have just pushed out a massive new update to the app. And they're so proud of themselves because this update takes away a whole whack of features that you used to have, and now they're gone.
Hang on. Remind me, what was Sonos doing? What was it?
They do wireless speaker systems that synchronize together.
Oh, right. Yes. Got you.
Yeah. It's for people who don't have Apple computers, AirPlay, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so they pushed out this update, and everybody hates it so much that they've already stood up like days later and said, okay, look, we're gonna change this. We're gonna fix it for you. Okay, relax. They one person with the company let it slip today. It looks like it'll cost them upwards of $25-30 million to fix this. Holy shit.
How can it possibly cost that much?
How many overpaid people are working on a fucking iPhone and Android app? Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Probably 25 million of that money is in media communication now to say we're sorry, and 5 million to fix it, right?
Yeah. We'll just find some bloke on Fiverr.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right? You know?
Hey, Abdul, he's in India.
But what they actually did was they overhauled the app from scratch, all brand new code. And they also overhauled their back end. And the back end won't work with the old code on the old app. So they're screwed. They have to scramble now to get the new app up to speed. And once again, like anybody out there that plays games, what they did was bring out an update that wasn't nowhere near fully baked and ready, missing all kinds of features, but they just put it out anyway, as if it was good enough. Just like with games, they're full of bugs. Oh, you'll get updates. It's fine. It was $80, asshole. I want it finished, you know?
Yeah, it seems to be the way of the world now, and just about everything. Yeah. If we can sell it to you unfinished, we'll finish it later. No, I do that. You know,
I mean, give it another year, and it'll be okay. Well, enjoy your new car. We'll tow it home for you because you'll get the steering wheel in about a month.
Yeah. You want wheels with that?
Yeah,
they'll come.
Yeah. I thought Sir wanted jack stands.
You want the round? You want the round wheels?
Yeah, we have a really great deal on triangles.
It's our new feature. We're trying it out. We're pushing it forward. We think it's going to be the best thing since. Oh, okay. No, it doesn't.
Oh yeah. But yeah, you know, it's just unbelievable what software companies think they can do to us these days this way. It's crazy. And I wouldn't doubt they're not willing to go back to the old code until the new one is fixed, because the new one has far better ways of tracking you and selling that information to third parties. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was just thinking. I mean, surely if people just didn't like the update, surely they could just roll back. Surely.
No, you're stuck if you do it, but if you stay where you are, you're still okay. At least that's what some of the commenters were saying. I don't know that that's true, because I wouldn't buy a Sonos device, right? They're so expensive for what you get. There's no way.
I mean Sonos themselves. Instead of spending 25 billion fixing it, they could have just rolled back, or million. They could have rolled back to the previous version, and then, you know, re-updated everybody's system with the system that worked.
Well, that's what you'd figure, but there's no way they're doing it, and they're just going to move forward with updates as fast as they can. Which to me says there's a reason why they want the new system in place, right?
Yeah, probably because there's a new bit of hardware coming out.
Could be, and it's probably got better hooks into modern Android to get more information out of you and stuff, you know? Oh, I wouldn't doubt that at all either. Right? Because even if you're pissing people off by getting a lot of extra information, you're going to make so much money on the back end, you can afford to pay for more code to get the app up to spec, right?
Well, this person seems to be listening to a lot of the carpenters. Maybe he's got an eating disorder. Maybe we should sell him more protein.
There you go. Right?
Protein shakes.
Yeah, or this guy listens to the Doobie Brothers. We should suggest immigrating to Canada, you know? Yeah, he's telling me immigration services. I'm like, I'm fucking here already, man.
You had my brain going on gaggy things I could say about songs and songwriters and stuff like that, and I realized I'm going to stop there because I'm just going to say something wrong.
You know,
by accident.
I have a few that I could go at when it comes to songwriters. I always thought it was funny how Prince was this ultimate in sexuality singer, performer, songwriter, and everything. But in real life, he was like 5'5". And in my experience, you got to be a little taller to be Casanova.
Yeah, but his penis was 5'5", though.
Actually, he grew 2 inches if he could just point it downwards, right? You know, it's like his own pogo stick, I bet.
Yeah. Small guy, big wanger.
Yeah. Well, it looks that way because of the proportions, right? Well,
I've never seen him pole voting. No, poor old Prince.
Yeah.
Such a little sweetie.
I remember when he brought out the song Raspberry Beret. And I'm like, this is the same guy that did Let's Go Crazy and, 1999. Really?
Yeah. When Doves Cry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an intense good song, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hang on a minute. Yeah. I never meant to cause you any trouble. I never meant to cause you any pain.
I've always suspected that, that cool guitar riff in the beginning of When Doves Cry.
Oh, yeah.
I've always suspected that there's more of that recorded that could have been brought into the song. But as they were doing the mix, Prince was just like, no, strip that. There we go. Yeah. Right. That's how I envision it. And I've often wondered, is there a tape somewhere out there with some of that nasty, dirty guitar in there still?
Oh, probably. They're probably like loads of different takes.
Mm-hmm.
It was just riffing it.
Yeah. Because it came across so cool, right?
He was a talented little fucker. He was really talented.
You ever see that live performance with like Tom Petty and a whole whack of people? And at the end of the song, Prince goes ballistic into this guitar solo, and he's kind of so lost in the moment, he won't stop, and he already should have. And holy, is it good, man?
It is funny though, like Mad Mullet. Hello, Mad Mullet. It says Prince was one of the top 10 guitar players ever. It is actually interesting that
I'd put him in my top 25, but I see where you're going here. Yeah.
But it is interesting that as far as guitar heroes are concerned, I use that with air quotes, guitar hero.
Gets left out all the time.
He does, doesn't he? And he was much better than a lot of people to put him above him, should I say.
Oh, yeah.
He was very good. But
if you think Mick Mars...
talented, he was just talented on any bloody instrument. He could give him the triangle. He could be marvelous on it.
If you think Mick Mars from Mostly Crud was a good guitar player, go and listen to some Prince.
Yeah. Little fucker.
Yeah, it was good. But man, his music direction went places I was not willing to go. No way.
Yeah, like what?
Well, most of his career after the first couple albums. I mean, really, every time he brought out an album, I'd hear the first single and just go, Jesus Christ, I'm not listening to this.
I think I just didn't listen to it because I can't remember what happened after all that.
Yeah, Little Red Corvette, 1999, Purple Rain, and then whatever.
Purple Rain is probably, as far as I remember, the last of it.
That's where it ended for me, right?
Yeah. I mean, he built up a massive recording studio, and he was making a vast amount of money just recording other people.
Oh yeah,
that was just an incredible empire he had going.
Yeah, the artist formerly known as. That was an awesome contract trick. That was great, man. I respect that so much. I'm a symbol now. That's not me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tom Petty pulled a similar trick for his third album. The record label got sold to a new group. He didn't like the new terms they were proposing, so he went bankrupt to get out of the contract and moved on and kept going.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that worked for him. He didn't have to become the artist formerly known as, but that was for Prince. It was much later, so I bet the contracts were way tighter written. Right. So, yeah. But yeah, that symbol thing, that was funny, especially for like talk show hosts, they having to do the artist formerly known as and whatnot.
Yeah, I know. It's like Twitter is now X. At least you can call it X. Yeah, but people still do. They still say, the formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Even though it's been X for like 2 fucking years, and people still can't. But with Prince, it was constantly. What do we call you? Just formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
Is that Mr. Formerly known as Prince?
Yeah, he pulls out his card.
Is that your first name?
Yeah. So, Mr. Formerly,
Can I call you Formo? Formy? What do you think his friends called him?
Card holder?
Just shouting across. Oi, formerly known as Prince. Do you want any sugar in your coffee? Do you want a latte?
Maybe they just called him symbolic.
Oi, bollocks bread.
Well, that shifted quickly. Yeah.
Mind you, I can't imagine people like calling him Prince.
Yeah.
I mean, what was his real name anyway? I can't remember.
I don't know. Probably Cedric or something.
Yeah. Bill, Jeff,
Larry.
I'm sure it wasn't Prince.
Yeah.
It's like Sting,
Yeah.
What's his name again?
Gordon.
Yeah.
Gordon Summers.
Yes. Is it Gordon Summers?
Summers or something.
Ooh. Yeah. It sounds like one of these bass players. But yeah. No. It's like, I'm going to be called Sting.
Yeah.
Mom, it's called, I'm Sting now.
Yeah.
When you shout me in for tea, I want you to shout, Sting, come in, your tea's ready.
Yeah.
No, don't shout Gordon. I'm not Gordo anymore.
Oh, Gordon, just come in, have your biscuits.
And get to bed. It's long past your bedtime.
Yeah.
Oh, but Mum, I've got this album to finish.
It's funny.
I'm going on tour, Mum. Well, not till you finished your homework and done your chores.
Yeah.
You got to take the bins out.
Yeah. Tell Stuart and Andy to go home. It's your dinner time.
Oh, Mum, they're coming around our house for tea. Oh, no, they're not. We haven't got enough fish fingers.
Speaking of fish fingers now.
Okay. Hey,
I learned.
No, press the button. Do it properly.
Oh, okay.
And now for something completely different.
So speaking of
fingers.
Speaking of fish fingers, though, so I learned this on, of all places, Top Gear. Why are fish fingers the size they are? So that, and this is a British thing, so that you can put 4 across or 4, standing up and 1 horizontal across the top, and it fits in a piece of bread, so that you can make a fish finger sandwich.
I think that's a load of bollocks.
But it is actually a fact. I actually took fish fingers out of the thing once for Felix and I was like, I grabbed a piece of bread and I lined them up and I was like, motherfucker, it works.
Yeah, right? Well, I'm sure it does. But then why did Findus, or the maker of fish fingers, bring out fish finger minis? What, for small pieces of bread?
Yeah, for English muffins.
It's like that spinal tab again. Well, I've got these fish fingers, but they're too small for the bread. Where you fold the bread out. But if I fold the bread, then it doesn't work. I can't work under these conditions. See, and in Canada, nobody would ever make a fish finger sandwich, because why would you put a breaded item in bread? No, it's absolutely true. No one. It's a stupid idea. I don't think it ever existed. I think it's a lie.
That's like taking a grilled cheese sandwich and putting it in between 2 fresh pieces of bread to make a sandwich.
It's like ever since Doctor Who, I suspect a lot of Americans think the British have fish fingers with custard.
Did you? Oh yeah, no.
Oh. Yeah, there's no saving some people.
Yeah, the British and your obsession over fish fingers, man.
No, we don't have an obsession with fish fingers. You people have an obsession with us having an obsession with not having an obsession. They're all right.
Okay, hold on a second here. Let me just erase that from my head and start over.
See, thing is, I like fish fingers, but I like large fish fingers. It's like,
what are they called? Bass?
It's like a fist of fish.
Oh no! Oh no! Fished it for a fistful of fish. A fistful of fish. I can't even do this.
See, this is the thing that destroys the argument completely about making fish fingers to fit slices of bread. No, it's a coincidence.
No, it's not.
It's
a strategy.
No, it's a coincidence because fish fingers come in multiple sizes.
Not here, they don't. They're just.
Well, that's not our fault.
It's just that awful mechanically separated crap that for some reason we feed the children.
Well, that's on North America. That's not our problem. But we have fish fingers of various sizes. Well, you haven't said that. We also have bread of various sizes.
They sell them in sex stores or something? I mean, do you have to put batteries in them?
Only the really good ones. Why do you think they're frozen? You don't want floppy ones. Bit cold to stick it with your bum, though. But you know,
you need a thermally non-conductive condom so the heat doesn't transfer.
Well, it's been a while since I bought those from the chemist.
So if you're thinking about what to have for supper tonight, I'm sorry if you were listening to that. Don't get fish fingers without getting bread. I hate the sound of it.
Oh, don't have it. And
I don't, and I won't.
And guess what? Neither do we.
Have you ever made biscuits and cut one open and buttered both sides and then just put them on bread to make a sandwich? That's just so strange.
I don't know, because it depends what you're talking about. Biscuits. You call biscuits what you call biscuits. We call
cookies.
Dumplings.
Oh, dumplings.
Yeah, and what we call biscuits, you call cookies. So yeah, it can get very, very confusing into the conversation immediately.
Yeah, that's true. You guys wear your pants on the inside where we put underwear on first, right?
I know. Yeah. How can we be so divided with such a common language?
I know, it's funny. It's funny. No
wonder you don't understand the British, because you got all the words wrong.
Oh, yeah. Back in like 1982, 81, when you were watching like a British television show on PBS over here or whatever, and the guy would say, oh, I'm just going to slip outside and have a fag. Oh, the whole room would just die laughing on the spot, right?
I know. Well, there was a popular show over here in the UK called EastEnders. Just a crappy soap opera. You know of it, yeah? Yeah. Don't do it, Charlene. He's not worth it. All that kind of shit. And what was funny is when it went out to the US. God knows why the US bought it. I don't know why, but they had to put subtitles. On the show. Yeah, they had to put subtitles because the US could not understand the London Cockney accent.
Wow. But everybody could understand on the buses and Are You Being Served?
Oh, yeah.
Those shows were everywhere where I lived. And the one guy from On the Buses was single-handedly responsible for the whole British teeth thing, because I think he had like 3 of them left and they were just cigar stained, you know?
I was going to say, which one? Because they were all like that.
You know?
Yeah. All British actors on TV back in the day were like that.
Yeah.
Manky teeth. And,
yeah, Mitch is right. Canada, we used to have a lot of British shows. Oh, yeah. You know? Dave Allen, Monty, the Flying Circus. We used to get Benny Hill. You know.
Well, I am sorry you witnessed. Are You Being Served? And,
that's awful.
Buses. Yeah, they were awful. It's a shame you didn't get the good ones, like Porridge or something. Porridge was great.
Okay, yeah, odd name for a show, but yeah.
We've discussed it before. I'm not going to go into it again. But yeah.
Or that North American show where Eric Idle was dead, a ghost or something, recently departed or something. Oh my God, it was so bad.
Yeah, Eric. Well, actually, all the Pythons, I think, have done a stint in America in really bad TV shows.
Yeah. The writers did not know how to use them.
No.
Right? You know, what they should have done is just let them go all improv the way like Tim Conway and those would have on the Carol Burnett show and whatnot, right?
Yeah, but I don't think the Python guys, I don't think they're very good at improv. I don't think they can do it. They're
I think Cleese could.
Not convinced.
You know?
I'm not convinced. I think he's probably more anal about it than anybody else.
That could be. Could be. He did get a little bit what's his name? The guitar player from The Who. Pete Townsend. John Cleese in his elder years has gotten a little bit, well, no comedy could ever be as good as what I did, you know?
I don't know. Shut up, you twat.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of comedy has springboarded off.
Exactly.
Off Monty Python, but my God, is it better?
Yeah.
And some of it is not better.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. Yeah, there's a bit of both. There's a bit of both.
Yeah,
But,
there's good comedy, and then there's Martin Lawrence, for example.
Yeah, I think the only difference is some of the Python. I would just say some of the Python stuff, not all of it. Some of the Python stuff, and say like Faulty Towers, you know, with John Cleese.
That's funny.
It stood the test of time. It holds up.
Yeah.
That's where the difference is. There's a lot of comedy from that period is just not stood the test of time.
Yeah. My son still watches the episode of Faulty Towers where John Cleese loses it and starts to like, I'm going to kill my car. You know that one? Yeah. I'll beat you within an inch of your life. He's just flipping out. My son just falls on the ground laughing when he watches that, man.
Yes. Oh, yes, on those trays. There is too much butter on those trays. No, there is too much butter on those trays. And then, of course, there's the Germans. That is just a classic.
Or the Hungarian phrase book.
No, that's Monty Python. Back to Monty Python.
Yeah. That's one of the funniest things I ever seen in my life. The guy's translating and he says, "Drop your panties. I cannot wait until lunchtime."
My hovercraft is full of eels.
Yeah. The cops are taking him away. He says, "Oh, my nipples explode with delight." Here, let me refill my ginger ale. Hold on.
Oh dear. Yeah, you're gonna do it from there. That goes back to porridge. Can you feel this specimen jar? What, from here? Classic joke that was stolen and then used again in the Bond film. Yeah. What was that Bond film? That was the not Bond film. And Never Say Never Again. Yeah. They use the same joke in there. Dear. 999. Yeah, it's like I think I mentioned the war once. I think I got away with it. Stop talking about the war. Well, you started it. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. You invaded Poland.
Yeah. What was that Warsaw vacation? You know.
Shall I do the funny walk now?
That is classic funny.
Oh dear. Yeah. They tried to cancel it in the UK recently. Right? in a rerun of Faulty Towers. They thought it was just they can't show that anymore. I said, are you fucking kidding me?
Why?
They show it in Germany. The Germans love it.
Well, what was that Hitler sitcom you guys tried
Oh,
over there? Honey, I'm Home or something?
Oh, honey, I'm home.
Yeah, my God.
Hang on a minute. Don't put the blame on me when you said, "Oh, yeah, you guys tried it." Yes,
I meant
I
collectively the country,
I wasn't involved in the conversation.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I wrote it.
But over in North America, we had the same thing with that TV show, Hogan's Heroes. They have a comedy based around people being in a German concentration camp.
Prisoner of war camp, to be fair.
Yeah,
It wasn't a concentration camp, yeah.
Okay, sorry, but you get my idea, right? And they totally built a comedy around it with gadgets and all, like James Bond shit. It was fucking ridiculous.
It was, but Hogan's Heroes was actually kind of funny.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Again, it's something else that doesn't very well stand up to the test of time, but yeah.
Oh, I'd be scared to even try to watch that now.
I have watched it recently.
Pause for the laugh track. I know.
Because the funny thing about Hogan's Heroes is it's like one of those like memories at the back of your mind as a kid, and you go, I knew the show existed, but I got no sense of what it was or what it was about. I knew it had to do with something about the war and Germans and Americans, and that was about it. And I ended up tracking it down and watching it. And
I had that same I don't know what I'm watching effect from watching Heavy Metal, the animated cartoon, the first time. It was just like, what's going on? I had no clue. I was wasted, but
yeah. Well, most of your 9-year-old life was.
Yeah, but by 9 I had a tolerance, right? So I was expecting to,
Yeah. You were watching Teenage Mutant Turtles while smoking on a huge doobie and like
never watched Turtles. No.
Yeah, get this, man. These are turtles. Yeah, and they eat pizza. Yeah, man.
I remember when those turtle dudes came out, and the one guy was all surfer dude, but really extreme in his talk. And I thought, oh, this won't last. Nobody's going to watch. Oh my God, it won't stop. I can't. I find it so annoying. I can't even listen to that character.
I always thought Transformers was funny as well.
Never watched that either.
It just made me laugh. There's Optimus Prime. He's an alien robot, and he comes to Earth. And what can he turn into? Oh, but he's an alien. He's an alien.
Yeah, but he's a Freightliner. What?
Yeah, he turns into a truck. It's like how did they know?
Yeah.
Of course, the argument would be, you can change into anything, but he doesn't change into anything. Just change into a truck.
Yeah. There would be times when a hovercraft would be good. Maybe an airplane. No, I'm a truck. All right. Good. But Transformers was one of the earliest successful examples of here's a toy. Now let's make a TV show based on it to prop it up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They tried that with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of toys just ended in a massive landfill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, toys that didn't, the cartoon didn't take off, so it didn't work, right? Yeah, Thundercats. Richard says, all kinds of those ones,
Yeah, but there was a lot really. I mean, you talk about drug taking in Hollywood. I mean, you had there was some kind of shark hero sort of thing. Just like big shark heads on little bodies. Yeah. And I remember the toys, just it's a hammerhead shark, the great white shark, all these sharks, and they were fighting, I don't know, some kind of crocodilian reptiles or something, and what the fuck are you smoking?
Yeah. Yeah, very much. There was a bunch of toys like that over the years, I guess the cartoon didn't get greenlit, so they just put the story into the marketing to make the toy seem better,
Oh, which brings us to the shocking news from Disney about the new Star Wars movie coming out soon. Oh, everybody, hold on to your hats because it's a brand new franchise story coming out from Disney, a new Star Wars movie. Oh, but you can't wait to see this new Star Wars movie. It's a brand new Star Wars movie. What's it called? The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh, God.
It's so brand new.
Yeah. It's subtitled The Search for More Money, and it's produced by Mel Brooks.
I told Dick about this yesterday, and he goes, "What?"
What? I was like, at first I said, "You're joking, right?"
Yeah.
It's like, they can't be,
Oh, do you remember that series we had a big hit with? The Mandalorian. But then he had that little. It was called the Mandalorian. Yeah. But then we introduced that little Yoda thing into it, and people loved the little Yoda thing more than the Mandalorian. Yeah. Remember that? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to make a movie.
Yeah.
Based on that.
Yeah, it'll be a 2-hour episode of The Mandalorian with a 20% budget improvement for effects, and it'll have like a little bit more Grogu doing the Force, right?
Do you know what happened? I think some of the executives came out the cinema having watched Wolverine and Deadpool. Was it Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yeah.
And they go, you know what? Let's do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do that, but with the Mandalorian and Grogu. Grogu. That's his sister.
Grogu. Who came up with that as the name? Right?
It's probably like probably George Lucas has probably got like all these fag packets all stacked up with all these names he's scribbled on over the years.
Yeah.
It's just like just trying to think of Star Warsy names.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's gone into like a big like spreadsheet document.
Yeah.
And then they just get like a random picker. Like, just pick the name.
Yeah.
What's it going to mean? Yasser Fatat. Libble Dibs. Quack Track. Oh no, Grogu. Oh, that would do.
Yeah. It's crazy, But Disney is definitely on track to destroy the whole idea of Star Wars in the search for a few extra dollars. Instead of just bringing in people that love and adore the property and want to continue on with good stories, they're just like, oh, get J.J. Abrams in, Somebody download the After Effects plugin for lens flares. Here, we'll go. I don't know. What's the script? Who cares? We've got Ewan McGregor back on. It's just... It's unbelievable. Somebody in the chat earlier said, where is it here? Mad Mullet says, yeah, they lost me at Jar Jar. That I was so annoyed with that. I was like, but the robots are the comic relief. Why do we need somebody who sounds like the little kid from Full House?
I didn't mind Jar Jar that much. I think a lot of hate ended up on Jar Jar. But
this is why LSD isn't for everybody, fellow babies.
No, I think a lot of hate for the should we say the prequels started forming when social media and the internet was starting to kick off. And
we saw Jar Jar and we knew he was bad, and we all talked about it.
It's in the Bible.
Yeah. You remember the third tablet that Moses dropped when he came down? That one had Commandment 11, thou shalt not Jar Jar in Hollywood movies, right?
Do you know, I was going to say a joke how he named Jar Jar, but it'd be pointless on you because it was Tommy Cooper, the comedian, and he was doing Jar Spoon, Jar Spoon, Jar. The Brits in the audience will get it.
I don't.
They're all asleep now, I think.
That sounds like a chimpanzee trying to learn how to have a bowl of soup, you know? Yeah, Pizza the Hut. Give him a disgusting lick. I remember when I first saw that. It doesn't look real at all, but I was just grossed out by the whole eating the guy part, man.
If I remember right, I think they went through 2 actors who were inside the costume because the first one just said, I can't
do this.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. So they put someone else in the Pizza the Hut outfit afterwards.
Yeah, and they had Max Headroom gives them a little tasting there with a, you know.
Oh yeah, the Max Headroom.
Yeah. I don't know what the, you know, but yeah, that was awful. Hey, we didn't get the shout out in. Stephen Walsh sent in a $10 super chat. I watched Chris Farley at the Senator Theater. Oh man, to see him live would have been unbelievable. Oh wow, he was crazy funny. That whole motivational speaker routine, the van down by the river on Saturday Night Live. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Still falling over, crashing over the tables and everything. Oh man, he was funny.
Yeah, I don't remember much of Chris Farley.
Oh, he was good. Yeah, he was really good, man. Just watching the time here. I'm still okay. Good. All right. Any shout outs to do? I think we're good. Anything we're supposed to remember? Oh, yeah. I know what we have to remember. Head over to the shills.org because we have a fundraiser listed on the site for Annette because we're getting her out of Tornado Alley back to, you know, nicer place to live.
Oz.
Yeah. And so, yeah, ruby slippers aren't cheap, but we're getting some. But yeah, there's been too many close calls. So she's got to move. And any help is appreciated. There's a GoFundMe. You can donate directly to it. Theshills.org. Very easy to find.
Yeah, I think also the GoFundMe thing is quite a cheap option because the other option was to dig a Bond-style fortress under the ground, and that would cost millions. And,
we have to find her a volcano. You know,
we have to dig a swimming pool that's got like fucking sharks in it.
Yeah,
and
get the laser attachments. You know,
yeah.
We have to hire some bald guy to talk funny.
Oh, that's at a penny. We can get one.
Yeah. I've got one with me all the time. So, what do y'all think out there? Kamala. I still can't.
Kamala.
It's like wife, Camelot. Just don't finish the word.
My wife explained to me perfectly. It's just Pamela, but with a K.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Kamala.
Yeah. So surging ahead.
So I just started calling her Pamela now, and just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh yeah, Pamela. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Pamela.
Yeah, but she's ahead in the polls now by like 4 points or so and growing. I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but Trump tweeted out today on X. I know what I said, but go with me. That when she landed wherever she did today, the big crowd was AI generated fake. And he put in all capital letters, they faked it and whatnot. And he was totally convinced that they weren't actually real people. Now they were, right? But
because there were people there to see.
Yeah.
Other people that were there.
Exactly. There's so much footage because in this day and age, people don't just show up and watch and go, "Oh, that was cool." They do this with their phones and they turn around and give it the old selfie try and the whole bit. I mean,
it's like the flat Earth argument when they talk about NASA launches and they go, "Oh, it's all CGI." Well, what about all the people standing there watching the fucking thing?
Exactly. Yeah.
How does that work?
There's so much amateur footage of it, but yeah, all our phones are lying.
But there was a thing on Twitter with someone talking about I think it was like the crowds at Kamala's rallies. They were saying blah 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 AI generated crowds and I basically put in my like repost. It was like how to say you don't understand AI without saying you don't understand AI.
Yeah.
Like, for fuck's sake, you have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ignorance shouldn't be trumpeted. Yeah. But it's hilarious. Trump is desperate now. He's just throwing anything at the wall to see if it sticks at this point. I think by the time the election... Hey?
Oh, him and Vance. They're both...
Oh, yeah.
They're both doing it. Vance has been talking shit about Walz's his military career. He's been throwing shade at that.
Yeah.
He was basically saying that Walz pulled out. He resigned from the military. He did like 24 years of service or 25 years of service. And he resigned just as they were going into Iraq. And, actually, if you look at the dates, he resigned months before even rumors even started going around about them going into Iraq.
Right.
So it's like, not true. Yeah. So Vance is throwing shit around as well. They are both doing it, him and Trump. They're just desperately seeking
anything. Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah. And in my opinion, all of this rhetoric is only going to look worse and worse on them as she gains more and more in the polls. And when she does win, the entire Republican Party is going to have to look inward and go, the whole MAGA focus isn't working. We have to get rid of these fucks. Right. And at that point, I think you might see a MAGA party spring up. And and what'll happen then, this is my prediction. So this is like a 4-year events happening. But by the end of it, I think what'll happen is the MAGA party will just become smaller and smaller and smaller as everybody realizes that the whole world's just looking at them like complete and utter morons. So that's my prediction.
Yeah. I mean, there must still be some people in the Republican Party that do have some kind of...
Quite a few. There's quite a few.
Political sense and head going. There must be. Yeah. They must be frustrated as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It must be frustrating.
Yeah, and in the background, they must all be going, look, this isn't working. So even though he was the most popular candidate, we've got to get this off the books, so to speak, right? And I wouldn't doubt that it's already being thought of.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, they're doomed. Because after this election, this whole MAGA thing, because I predict she wins no problem by a decent margin as well. There's going to be so much egg on the face, it's not funny. All of the attacks and stuff are just going to look so childish.
Do you not think that a lot of the people in the Republican Party are probably thinking, okay, we are going to lose this one. It's guaranteed. And, Trump will be off the ticket after this. He won't be...
He's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. And with Trump gone, the MAGA movement will go with him.
I think some will cling on, like Marjorie Taylor and so on, right? I think some of them will trail on for a while. And that's why I think you'll get some hard-lining MAGAs that'll start whispering, let's do our own thing.
Yeah. I think that might be the way it would go, because I wouldn't be at all surprised again, the actual Republicans who actually do have an ounce of sense are probably hoping that Marjorie Taylor Greene will fuck off as well.
Oh yeah.
So the idea that they got to make it sound like it's their idea to leave and set up their own party.
That's right.
It'd be you'd do so much better if you just went away and started your own party, and then she'll go, oh, that's a brilliant idea because we'll be fantastic. Yeah, because she has so much egotistical idiocy going on in her brain that she'll believe it.
And take that Alaskan bitch and a bunch of the other ones with them, right? Just and then
the Republicans can regroup and just start doing proper politics again.
Yeah, they can go back to the one being the party that just enjoys money a bit more and focuses on that instead of like healthcare and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Alex P. Keaton's,
I'm not sure I'd agree with their politics, but at least it will be more in line of a normal human being.
Yeah. Get back to the point where when both parties agree, they can actually put their differences aside and stop warring for the sake of war and just go, that's a good one. All right, let's do that. Right. Because that doesn't exist anymore. And that's where all politics needs to be, is it can't just be about, no, everything you say is wrong. There has to be a point in time where the opposition goes, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Right. That's it. There's no honesty now. It's all about the fight. Everything has to be about positioning myself for the next election. That's not governance.
Yeah, and it's also like tactics as well. Like the whole bill about the border control, and there was a bill pushed forward. The Republicans refused it because Trump wanted it to be something to campaign against.
He needed an issue, so he killed it so he could yell about it. Right? Exactly.
Yeah. That's got to stop. That is not good for America.
It's
not good for anywhere.
Yeah. Helps nobody, right? You've got to be able to agree when the time is right. And right now, I don't think Canada has it. I don't think America has it. Not sure on the UK, but right now it's all about us versus them. And everything is about the fight, not the governance of people. Sucks for us.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite as bad in the UK. I think it was starting to head in that direction, but hopefully, I don't know. Let's see how the future goes. There's still time for us to fuck it up.
We have a lot of MAGA wannabes in Canada. It sucks,
Well, we have like Nigel Farage over here in the UK Reform Party. Oh, that was so funny. The Reform Party. After Nigel Farage puts out a whole bunch of shitty interviews, tweets, comments. Well, I'm not saying blah, blah, blah about the immigrants. I'm just asking questions.
Yeah.
And asking these loaded questions, riling people up into the far right.
Full conspiracy theory stuff, too.
Yeah, absolute bullshit. And so what did he have? He had all these anti-right-wing protesters turn up on the lawn outside their party headquarters, and they ran a news story on GB News or wherever, which is a right-wing YouTube channel. Right. So they can't even get on the TV, but it's on a YouTube channel, and they were like talking about all the thugs that are demonstrating outside the Reform UK party headquarters, and the camera just strolls past these little grey-haired old ladies with placards saying, "Oh, fuck you, racist." that was the level of thuggery.
Yeah, that's awesome. There was a comment in the chat here. Who said it? UTV and Ham there said, get rid of Citizens United and lobbyists. Well, I would say this, because there is an argument that a lobby is good, but I would make it so that no corporate entity is allowed to be a part of the lobby in funding or otherwise, because it's obviously self-interest. And at the same time, I would make it so anything handed over by the lobby to like Congressman so-and-so or the Republican Party or whatever has to be publicly made available to all so that it can be fact-checked. And if there should be harsh legal penalties for saying something that isn't true. That's what I would do. Right?
Interesting.
Yeah. It's same with my whole thing when it comes to elections. I would make it so that one party is not allowed to talk about the other party. You're only allowed to tell us what you yourself are going to do.
Thing is, I like your concept, but taking lying out of politics.
There's no
such thing as politics anymore.
You'd have to line 90% of them up and just shoot them, right, and start over. Well, but the whole process is flawed at this point, right? Because it's all backdoor meetings. Oh, but if you vote my bill, I'll vote your bill and blah, blah. It's not, yes, I agree. That's a good thing for our people. It's all about the deal.
Yeah.
Right?
And while we say that, come sub to our channel and we'll sub you.
There you go. One day.
Yeah, one day.
Well, who's the arbiter of truth? Well, that Todd Metzger in the chat says, who's the arbiter of truth? When it comes to scientific fact versus a falsehood, well, that's easy. Peer review and whatnot, right? We've got a process there. But when it comes to other things that are more gray area, like right to repair lobby and stuff. There's been a lot of stuff put up by Samsung's lobbyists saying, but independent repair shops are the ones that are going to install TikTok on your phone without your permission and stuff. A year later, Samsung does it by default. Those are the kind of things that are very easy to show. This is malicious bullshit, right? Very easy, Now, I agree. There becomes a point where opinion, and a lobby group stating an opinion, not based on a factual presence, because maybe there's not even enough background. It's a new topic of conversation. And as such, you don't have like a real depth to draw from in the background. That's one of those things where you just have to trust people to be a bit more honest. But for the most part, I think if you just got the corporations out of the lobby, we'd be one step closer to better, because then it would be who can raise the cash to lobby the ideas. And as we're seeing now, Trump's pretty good at raising cash to lobby MAGA bullshit. But as soon as what's-her-nut stepped up onto the stage there, she outdid him in campaign donations in 30 days. She was ahead. So I think things correct themselves based on averages of people's opinions, intelligence levels, and so on. Right?
Well, that is the general concept of democracy. Nothing's
perfect, but it's better than what we got, is what I'm thinking. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, but it's just an idea to try to clean this shit up, right?
Yeah. I mean, the general principle of democracy is to weed out all the shit and all the chaff.
Yeah. Same with peer review in science, right?
Yeah. Right? Well, again, as I said, he said it before. You talk about scientific fact. Don't forget, science doesn't prove facts; it disproves falsehoods. So
true, right?
Yeah, it just gets really tricky and icky.
But Archimedes' principle is a scientific fact at this point, because shipping. You see what I mean? Like, there's
Archimedes invented shipping.
Well, he was thinking so far ahead. He gave us the calculations needed to make it happen.
but you can't prove it, because when you load that ship with all those containers, you can't see how much water spills over the side of the earth in displacement.
Are you standing there holding a bucket?
That's how Archimedes proved how fat he was, by spilling water out of his bath. He goes, "Oh, eureka! Yeah, I'm a fat bastard." Okay, I proved it.
I think it was Archimedes who installed the pump under the flat Earth to catch the drippings and put it back up as rain. There's a tube that goes over the firmament to a hole in the top. Beautiful shower head. Great dispersion. Yeah.
Oh shit! We're going to go into our pre-show chat. Let's not go there.
Yeah. You know,
you got it stuck in my fucking head now. And right? I'm trying to clear. I'm trying to change. Press the button. Press the button.
Okay.
And now for something completely different.
Oh, clear my head of disgraceful thoughts.
I know. And there was another thing. I just want to do that whole put it on the lobby for falsehoods thing. There was a lobby group that put out an ad. It was on YouTube for a while. And it was how by letting just anyone repair your cell phone, you could end up with a stalker, trying to get you in an underground parking lot. And they really put this out.
Wow.
As against right to repair and how, independent shops are bad. But then there's a video of a Samsung TV technician. This is on the internet. Louis Rossman on his channel showed it. And when the customer was out of the room, the technician took a knife out of his pocket and put a little slit into their huge TV screen so that he could get a warranty service repair.
Yes. I've seen quite a few of that.
Yeah,
that going around. Not just on Louis Rossman. A lot of people have been reporting on this shit.
Yeah, that kind of lobby shouldn't even be allowed.
No,
right? No. Oh my gosh, right? Yeah. So it just drives me crazy how much money is spent on falsehoods to get the government to do things that are stupid. There's a lot of it. Unbelievable amount.
It's like that Charlie Chaplin movie when he's like the glass repairman and he sends a little kid running ahead of him with a brick and was it the kid? I think it might have been the film The Kid, where he's got the little kid runs ahead with him with a brick, throws it through a window and smashes the window, and then Charlie Chaplin is just so happens to be walking past with his paint the glass on his back, and he go, "Oh yeah, I can repair that for you." Well, that is literally lobbying because he was lobbing a brick to the window.
That's funny. That's probably where the phrase comes from, right?
Yeah, God knows.
Yeah,
it's probably comes from the Romans. So I don't think even they got to see Charlie Chaplin. I know he's old, but
yeah. Oh yeah, and I heard a report. The Ukrainians in the Kursk Oblast of Ukraine are now giving out lessons to the local Russians on how to use their stolen toilets. So
they're taking them back. We'll leave you one to shit in. It's not going to be plumbed in. You'll have to fill it up.
No, it's attached to like a cardboard box.
I do kind of feel sorry for the Russians in that region because it's like they've now suddenly caught in a war that they weren't expecting, and
should have been.
Russia is not exactly rushing to help them, not help the Russian people.
No.
They're doing everything they can to get Ukraine back out, and they're launching missiles and rockets at the Ukrainian, and just like hitting Russian citizens left, right, and center. It's like it's like Team America.
Yeah.
When they go to Paris. Just tear the place apart. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, there's no need to thank us.
Yeah. Starsky brought up a picture on the show earlier. It's the government building in Kursk, and it's the place where you would go to get like old age pension checks or whatever. And it looked like a rundown, abandoned building, but it's the current operational building.
Yeah, it wasn't bombed out. We haven't touched it.
Yeah, we were trying to get the checks first, man. We're gonna forge a few,
Yeah, we're gonna bomb it and cost $10 worth of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, or 1 billion rubles, you know. But yeah, it was unbelievable how bad it looked. So I went on Street View in the background and looked quick, and the whole little block was just, you know, it looked like it was after the Detroit riots, except that's how it looked like a year ago on Street View or whatever, right? You know, maybe even 2. You know?
Yeah, it is fascinating to see just how shitty some of these regions are.
Oh,
I mean, there are some actually stunningly beautiful places in Russia, but
not there.
Not there.
No. Yeah.
I mean, Russia's huge. You know, as a country, as a landmass.
Even Canadians can say Russia's big, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's probably one of you could probably put all the other continents, well, all the other countries, and put it inside the landmass of Russia. It's so huge.
Oh yeah, you know, yeah, it's crazy big.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was shocked at how run down it was. I mean, they in that TV show For All Mankind, season 4, when What's Her Nuts is in Russia, they show it as not being as nice as America, but I don't think they did it the proper service because, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they were pretty fair.
I'm not so sure now. Yeah.
I did love it when she, like, you know, she got back to America and she got the burger.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just like having an orgasm.
Yeah. Or when the Russians first show up at NASA and they got borscht and everything out to serve them, and the 3 cosmonauts look at each other and they're like,
"Where's the burgers?"
Yeah, we want hamburgers. You know, do you have Jack Daniels? You know?
Levi jeans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Brilliant. It's a great show if you haven't watched it. It's not focused only on the space part. Actually, as much or more of it is the human dramas involved. It's a phenomenal show called For All Mankind. I can't recommend it enough. Yeah, it's on Apple Plus, but you can also find it other places.
We have ways.
We have ways of making you watch.
Well, I tell you what, just buy a new Mac computer and you'll get it for free for 3 months. So you'll thank yourself anyway.
Yeah. And they hold their value. So if you don't like Mac OS, you can sell it after for a great price. You know.
and we're not sponsored.
If only, you know.
Hey, Tim Cook, if you're watching.
Yeah, where's my check, bitch?
Talking to about sponsorship. We got a super chat.
Hey, we do. Oh yeah, Royal Castriata, $10 super chat, no less. Salute to Dick and Tony Robinson. Missed you. Oh, that's thanks. Big thanks. That's funny. Oh yeah, that's funny. That's good. Oh, what are we at here? Okay, 1:45. We'll give it another 10 minutes or something. I've got to check. I think I left a window open and turned on my air conditioner. Oh dear God.
Who's he calling Tony Robinson? Hey. That's not very good.
Hey, hello, my name's Tony Robinson. I used to be Baldrick.
No, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
It's not that funny.
It's pretty funny. Let me just check and make sure we're caught up here. Yeah, okay.
This is funny. Yeah.
Who's that Australian-looking stoner?
It's me, Baldrick.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Adder. You don't know what I'm fucking talking about anyway. You don't watch Blackadder.
I have got it in the download queue just to try to check it out. Yeah.
again, in the movie list of things Dick hasn't seen.
Well,
he's got loads in the pipeline that he's never going to watch.
No, but this one is literally queued up in the torrent client. So, like, sometime tonight, it's going to start downloading. I just threw a whole whack of stuff at it. You know?
What we got? Blackadder episode 1, 2, or 3, 4?
I don't know.
Series.
It said TV collection complete.
Right.
Yeah. So
because the first series of Blackadder was a bit weird. It didn't quite work. The second season is the better one.
Okay.
Third is good. 4 is kind of like genius, but at the same time a bit dark.
How do they make inside the telephone booth so big on that show?
Hang on.
I'm kidding. Yeah, no.
Let's not talk about Doctor Who because
that's another show I've not seen.
No. There's too many of those to watch. I mean, where would you start with Doctor Who? If you would like to tell Dick, you got to watch Doctor Who. Yeah, but which Doctor? Which season? Where would you start with Doctor Who?
If I went all the way back to the beginning, all I'd be able to see when watching it is Danger, or hear is Danger, Will Robinson, because it's just one of those shows, right?
It wasn't that bad, but it's pretty old. It's pretty old. You go back that far, and it wasn't very good.
Mark Schneider in the chat says, Dick, the dog is a toaster. Yeah, I seen on the 8-bit guy where they had a life-size version of the toaster dog, plus a robotic one that you could like buy and remote control around and stuff. But I did have when the episode first started, I was like, what the hell is that? Oh, I like Doctor Who. Oh, that's why I don't know it. Okay, there we go.
Oh, you're talking about K9.
That's it. Yeah.
I wonder what the fuck you were talking about. Dog is a toaster.
Well, it is.
What are you on about?
It looks like a toaster that just.
I loved K9 when I was a kid. I had this remote control tank right when I was a kid, and it was pretty crap because it took like 3 D-cell batteries that lasted about 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But around the tank, it had like a barrel that came out that went up and down. So I built K9. Over, out of cardboard, pretty crappy. Yeah. I built a K9 over the top of my tank. So I used to take K9 for a walk up and down my street.
That's funny.
That was stupid.
That's funny. You could have made a life-size one with a Sinclair C5. Bicycle made out of a canoe that had a battery in it. You ever see that sad ass photo of the kid in the rain attachment with the hood and stuff? And he's just looking at the camera like, please get me out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
You get a free Sinclair Spectrum.
If I could get my hands on one, I would grab a Sinclair C5 and give it a little resto mod for sure. Get one of those electric bike kits that you can get and install it into that instead, so you could like have some fun with it.
Do you remember that like Messerschmitt car that was kind of like the tiny little bubble car?
It had the roast you in your own juices glass dome over the top. Yeah,
that somebody has built a new electric vehicle based on that design.
Why?
I love it.
Really?
Well, I love it in the same fact. It's like, Sinclair C5 kind of like mentality. It's kind of like goofy, genius, and never going to take off. But I love it. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, it's a funny little car.
Yeah,
I can see you're looking for it.
I'm just getting a picture for us right now here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's the little car, the original first one.
Yeah. That was the one with the Messerschmitt airplane canopy.
Yeah, and it even has a yoke for a steering wheel right out of a plane.
But they had the one with the door at the front. So the whole front.
No, that's up. The Izetta.
Yeah. Okay. The Izetta. Was that on Messerschmitt?
No, that's well, BMW built it under license, but it was made by somebody else.
Okay, but so it's based on the Isetta.
Okay, here. Let me bring this up for everybody if you don't know, but this is the classic when you think of a bubble car, it's the Isetta. The front door of it is the front of it is the door, and it's based completely on a refrigerator door, handle and all.
Yeah. In so much as once you're inside, there's no handle to get out.
Yeah.
But the new EV one, it has the mirrors. Where you got those headlamps, it's got like big LED lamps. And also a mirror on the back of it as well. There is actually some clever design thoughts got into it, but it is still that car.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But if you think about it, that sort of like concept really suits an electric vehicle.
Yeah, it does.
It's small, cheap, and
but except for the fact that your legs are the crumple zone, probably doesn't work out well for the driver.
Oh, I'll just get very crumply legs.
Yeah.
Just get very stiff trousers.
Yeah, perfect for amputees,
Or to be.
Yeah. Or those that don't mind the thought,
Yeah. Just get your wife to drive and you sit in the back. Actually, did they have a back? There was a second seat in the back, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Just in case you're the type that want to torture your children.
Yeah, you probably had to wrap your legs around the driver, but
yeah, side saddle, right? Yeah. I saw a pretty girl, Dad. Don't hit any bumps. You're gonna feel it.
Love it.
Yeah, but man, same with the early Volkswagen vans. You are the crumple zone because the engine's not in the front. Your feet and the pedals are literally right at the front. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Very dangerous. Sure, they're cool, and people will spend big money for like a multi-window VW van, but don't get into a crash where a modern vehicle hits you head on, because you will literally be as thin as the paint on your car if it happens. You're dead. Oh yeah, scary. And VW vans suck, so there's that too.
Oh, they look cool though.
They look amazing, but they have
so fashionable,
right? But they have super vague steering, a shifter that wobbles more than a drunk man trying to get home on a Saturday night. They have terrible suspension, like 45 horsepower. You can't get anywhere in a hurry.
What about but they got like new models of it now. That
you got the new electric version that just looks like.
They got petrol ones too, and they're kind of cool because they got the two-tone kind of paintwork on them. But they must have solved the crumple zone, because obviously you wouldn't pass like safety regulations, so they must have.
No, but modern, like how they had the Westphalia, the more modern version of the old bus, and it was still the same basic design, rear engine and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of those get sold out here anymore because there's no way you could safety zone the front end as a crumple zone. There's no way, right? None of those front wheels behind the driver's legs cars exist anymore. They're gone.
But I think the European regulations are pretty stricter than the American one.
They are. NCAP is stricter than America for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They must have solved some of the issues somehow.
They could have, there could be
just built the front out of titanium or something.
Well, they're like, if you look at those little smart cars, they look like death on wheels. If you were to get hit by like a Ford F-150. But if you've ever seen the crash test results, those little smart cars, 30 miles an hour into a solid concrete wall, but you only hit the left side of the front of the car. It threw it sideways, it bounced it up in the air, and yet the whole interior of the car was safe for the occupant, and the door still opened and shut. It was unbelievable to see it. I watched that, and I couldn't believe my eyes.
For all of that super fast setting foam.
Yeah, the Stallone movie, right? Yeah. Yeah, I was shocked by that. Those little smart cars are not the death traps they look to be to us North Americans that still think of a 74 Thunderbird as safe because there's 7 feet of car in front of you, right?
Mm.
I mean, with an old North American car, you can be having an accident and you still haven't realized it, right? Because it hasn't got to you yet. You don't even know.
It's kind of funny though, because you obviously started off the conversation off with a C5. Can you imagine like Britain's roads being filled with those little plastic?
Yeah. Hey, you're alive. Hey, you're dead.
Yeah, but the thing is, but this is the thing. Sinclair was envisioning a UK or a Britain where everybody was driving the C5. Now, if everybody is driving a C5, then it doesn't matter. Well, I'm not too sure how you can haul massive truckloads of stuff around in the back of a C5. But he was envisioned where everybody was driving that. So if everybody's driving that, it's okay, isn't it? Yeah. Not a problem. It's just the fact that, all you need is one person driving a massive truck and you can just flatten the entire, commuter people in Britain in one foul swoop.
Yeah, 74 people killed on C5s when an F-150 blew a yellow light by 6 feet, right?
No, a Fiat 500.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're driving a Fiat 500 and you feel like you're in a monster truck, right?
Yeah.
No, but I get the idea of the C5 and having areas that aren't for real cars and they're just for those and stuff, right? The funny thing was society was nowhere near that, and Dummy put them on the market anyway as if it was a good idea. Oh, people are going to get run over. Well, just put a tall flag on it like they do with the dirt bikes in the sand dunes. That'll do, like it was hilarious.
Well, the interesting thing is, back in the day when he did that, the concept of cycle lanes didn't really exist.
Not even close. Yeah.
These days there's a lot of inner cities. They've got like great cycle lanes and great for commuting and stuff like that. If those existed back in the day, the C5 might have taken off. Yeah. But what would have happened? You'd have ended up with some legislation saying, "Oh, you're not allowed C5s on the on cycleways." Because it's a class as a motorized vehicle, so therefore you can't ride it on a cycle lane. And then we're back to square one again.
Yeah, exactly. For those that don't know what we're talking about, here's a picture of a C5.
Ah, looks so cool. Can you imagine James Bond driving that? Couldn't you?
If you were going up even like a 2-degree hill, the electrics in it weren't enough and you had to pedal.
Yeah, but can you imagine the Bond film when he's driving that and he's he's being chased by a helicopter and he's driving along the roads through Italy and he just flies off the pier. The C5 just launches into the ocean. It turns into a submarine and That's
James Bond. That's James Bond in Escape No Evil.
Yeah, James Bond Timu.
Yeah. Joel Zapster in the chat says Clive Sinclair, he invented the digital watch as well. Yep, I know the story on that too because they
the
tested
1-inch TV.
Yeah, well, the watch was the first digital watch, and you couldn't even get battery life good enough to keep it on all the time. So it was like an Apple Watch where you had to do something to turn it on, but they didn't have accelerometers, so you just touched the little pad underneath the screen, and it was super cool. Except they tested the watch during summer, and as it became fall and winter, static electricity was killing them like flies. And oh man, did they have returns. Clive was very, very cutting edge. I'm going to make things smaller and cooler technology guy for sure. But oftentimes he was a little ahead of himself.
A little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Do you remember the story about the when the iPhone had the antenna problem and Apple basically said you're holding the phone wrong?
Yeah.
Now Clive Sinclair did that about his his mini TV thing.
Yeah.
Which was like about 1.2 1.25 inches across or something. It was fucking tiny. And everyone said, who the fuck is going to watch a tiny little screen? No, it's very, very simple. You move the TV, you move the screen close enough to your eyes, and it is now larger than a 20.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like,
and it was really cool because it had this tiny little CRT thing beaming sideways, reflecting out in front. It was awesome. But
it's clever, but again, it's stupid. And but again, this is like Clive Sinclair's mentality was, no, it works. It's just
you're going to love it because it's cool.
Yeah, but no, our users are too stupid to realize how brilliant it is. Yeah, and that was half of his problem. Yeah. You know, he came up with solutions which were brilliant, but he blamed the consumers for not knowing how to use it. Yeah. In the same with the C5, the QL.
Yeah. The QL, I was just going to say, he never stopped. The QL sold with a dongle for half the ROM code hanging out of the back of it at first. What the hell are you doing, man? You know? And the QL was a really cool computer, but it was during the time when people didn't want to rebuy software libraries for compatibility, and it wasn't Spectrum compatible, and it was a mess. You know, but if you follow the history of the Linux kernel, its very first iteration was built by Torvalds on a QL. True story. Because he thought the QL was so underused. He was like, I'll fix it by writing my own kernel to run this damn thing.
Yeah, I think there's a massive retro QL fan base who do all kinds of stuff with it now, but
if you look back,
it's like 40 years too late. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. You know, I wonder if anybody's making those crazy tape wafer drives still, right? No. You know, reissue, you know?
No, I very much doubt it.
Right? They were a great idea for cheap storage. They just
failed.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, they failed constantly. Actually, it wasn't the tapes themselves that failed.
It's the players.
The drives.
Yeah. They couldn't handle the speed. They used inferior components for what they were trying to achieve, right? Well, but that's not really Sinclair's fault because he licensed the drive from somebody else.
Yeah.
At least I think so, right?
That really annoyed me because I had a lot of really good stuff on. I had a bag full of those micro drives.
Oh, yeah. And the micro drives that came out for the Sinclair were not compatible with the QL. What? Why would you do that?
I don't know about that.
Yeah. I watch a lot of retro computing stuff, and the stuff I'm most interested in is the systems that I didn't get as a child. Right? So I watch a lot of YouTube.
You had them all. What are you talking about?
But only the North American ones. We never got Spectrums. We got Timex Sinclair 1000s, and they were modified a bit. So you couldn't even just run Specky software, right? Plus the 50, 60 hertz thing as well, right?
Okay.
Yeah. You know, the software was so critically timed for screen draws and stuff. You couldn't just run 50 hertz Specky stuff on a 60 hertz. It would just break it. You know, but yeah. Hey, random, take it easy. Jason in the chat always wanted a 64. I had one. It was unbelievable. It was just the best computer of its day. So far ahead of the Apple II for a while. It was a joke, you know, except for in columns, right? What are we at here? Oh, we're just over 2 hours.
Your tooth has done up. Yeah, held out well today.
Yeah, I do slightly feel it now. I'm still not 100%, but you know, getting there, getting there.
It was nice to do 2 42 shows without you hanging around and causing problem. You know? I managed to get 2 in the bag. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah.
It was not the same. It is. I gotta say, it's not the same without having a wingman.
No. Oh yeah.
Idea.
Yeah. Now that's why I've always structured this stuff this way, right? You know. Oh yeah. Doing it on your own, it's just too much one person's opinion. You start feeling it yourself, right? You need, you know.
Especially when you start boring yourself.
You put a little note in the green room. Hey, Annette, wake me up when it's over, will you?
Yeah. So I'd super chat now just to shut me up. But yeah, no, we did it. It got through.
Yeah. Let's do a shout out to the team here. Speaking of Annette runs the teams. She's on the Shills account right now. And again, we got a GoFundMe for her to get her the hell out of Tornado Alley because one of these days shit's going to hit the fan and we might not have her around. And that means I'm going to have to piss off other people to get them to learn and stuff. So we'll just stick with who we got and try to get her the hell out of there. So the shills.org fundraisers, you'll find it. It's easy to do. I'm sure you've all used a website once before. We also got
sorry laughing through that. I thought you were going to say something else there. I'm not going to say what it was on air. I'll tell you after the show.
Okay. I'm so happy to be back.
Thank you for all your super chats, your channel memberships and donations. Oh, okay.
I'm not done with the team shout outs. We've also got Shayna Caldwell to shout out and super chat. So thanks everybody. There.
What I said earlier, I'm not going to repeat it. Don't forget to hit like on the way out. I'm going to do that right now. So, bing. I've liked it, so you can bloody well do the same. Don't forget to share us out. You know, I'm sure there must be somebody else in the world who might like us. Not many, but you know, there must be somebody out there because we are the greatest YouTube channel in the world. Don't listen to the Enforcer because they're wrong. We're the best. And oh no, I'm learning a lesson from them because apparently what you do is you say how brilliant you are all the time, and people will believe it.
And then always talk about things being on fire or nuclear disasters.
Oh, absolutely. Everything's on fire. Yeah. You're just going to have a picture of Putin with a massive explosion behind it. Yeah, job done.
I've got fire on my mustache.
Although I got to say, I mean, they are killing it. I mean, I'll take my hat off to them. They are killing it. They had a stream the other night. And they had up their subscriber count, and their subscribers were literally going up one a second. It's like amazing. It was amazing, you know. So okay, fellas, yeah, you're a bunch of idiots, you're a bunch of cunts, but you did it. You did it.
Yeah, but they did it by tactics that I would never employ. So I'm not sure there's a lot of congratulation there because you could do it that way.
We'd employ them if we could figure out what it was.
I wouldn't trust that guy to clean my pool, man. No.
Good job you haven't got one.
Yeah. Well, my toilet then. Fuck. So I want to leave everybody with a thought here.
Oh.
Yeah, the Elon Musk. So, yeah, sure. So Elon called me. As you know, he endorsed me full-throated. Full-throated.
I've heard. It'll be full anal next.
That will never get old, man.
Oh dear God.
The look on Elon's face before his jaw dropped.
But from what I've heard about Trump, I don't think the tip could actually reach the end of his throat.
But we're not king shaming. Everybody's allowed to do what they want, right?
Absolutely.
So,
hang on. Am I finished? Share us out. Blah blah blah. Yeah. I did all my bit. Yeah. Don't forget, we got the Back to the 42 show again on Tuesday. Well, I'm sure the world will just be as nutty as it was the week before. So watch out.
That's true. So remember, if somebody tries to sell you a refrigerator and you happen to live up with the Inuit and whatnot near the Arctic Circle, it's probably not a good idea. Make sure you got your priorities in line. And of course, keep your stick on the ice.
Yeah, buy your ovens from Germans. They know best.
And when shopping for a personal jet, I do recommend fine Corinthian leather.
Boing.
Later, everybody. Good night.
Bye.